And we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to No Money But Dreams. We're again here with Bashir. How you doing, Bashir? How's everything?
My main man, Alex, it's good to be back. We're living in paradise here in Melbourne.
Oh, baby, always, man. What time is it over there?
12:30, half past midnight. It's good. Good
Oh,
time.
you
U.S.
really are
market.
a degenerate. Great time to
Yeah,
start to have a podcast talk.
man, market. U.S. markets are about to open up in an hour's time. Ape Coin is doing ape shit. We got Bitcoin above 44K again. So
I know,
just
above 34K, 43K. Also, Ethereum above 3,000, which is extremely good news. Hopefully, it stays
it
above
is.
there. Though I have my reservations.
Yeah, look, I mean, I try to choke out the bear in me as much as possible. So yeah, I just wanna be bullish all the time. But it's a good time to be invested, having some
Anyways,
exposure.
Bashir, today we want to talk about Ape Coin. Obviously, it's been 9 days since Ape Coin came onto the market. I'm going to give you some space here to show your screen, and we can kind of take a look at what's happened to the price.
Sure. So let's go ahead and check it out. Let me just share my screen here. Give me a second. Uh, yep, let's rock and roll. Let me know when it's coming through on your end.
Yep, we're there, man.
Dope. So we're just looking at just ApeCoin here on an hourly. Whenever these airdrops occur, I mean, don't get scared by that first candle. So what's essentially happening here is that there's a pool of liquidity that's being provided for people who are eligible for the airdrop to claim the token. And as people claim the token, they sell it. So there was about a billion
So wait a
tokens, I
second.
believe.
So how did this work? Basically, Bored Ape holders, mutant ape holders, were able to claim from this airdrop for free,
Mhm.
correct? They just have to pay gas.
Yeah, they paid a bit of gas, they claim it, and then people that are claiming are selling. So that's why you always see this kind of price action with airdrops. Whether it was SOS or whether it was Gas DAO or I don't know. There was so many that came through over the season, um, or airdrop season. But this is how it works. They provide a liquidity pool that creates allows the people to claim the token. So I don't usually worry about that first candle. In terms of what it's done since then, we've kind of seen just this sideways movement in the price. So we came back down around that $7 level. Really strong demand there. This was like a retail push, so we're looking at like the Ape Coin token price through FTX. Mind you, it's available in a lot of different exchanges, both as spot purchases that you can hold in your wallet or derivative contracts. But if we look here, it's kind of just in this like middle of this sideways range, and it's good. It's like I'm not one to bet against Yuga Labs or the Base ecosystem. These guys know what they're doing, so it'll be a while before we have enough price information and price history to be able to extrapolate on support levels or technical levels or anything like that. But where it is now, I mean, let's just have a quick look at the market cap on on Ape. It's the 60th largest crypto by market cap. If you were
And
to go off
that's unbelievable
coin.
because this is essentially just being created. I mean, in a way, a lot of things have just been created out of thin air in the crypto market. But to think that a project based on PFPs and building a community was able to create its own token, and that token has a value diluted. I mean, fully diluted. It's what, $13 billion, something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, correct. Which is if it really captures all of that fully diluted value, it puts it as like a top 20 crypto, and it would be bigger than Shiba. I mean, Shiba is a bit of a joke meme coin that is going to be hard to get out of the top 20. I'd love to see that, but yeah, it's actually got a lot of. I mean, it would be too early to say whether it's got a lot of utility, but as a governance token, it allows you to participate in Ape DAO, regardless of whether you have a Base or a Macy, uh, you know, NFT in your wallet or not. This is an easy way to like vote on the governance of ApeDAO, which is a bit separate from like being a part of the actual Bored Ape Yacht Club by owning the NFT. So, yeah, it's just another way to get exposure to what Yuga Labs is doing. They've kind of centralized a lot of the marketplace in how they, because they bought CryptoPunks and Meebits, and they did a good job giving IP rights to the NFT holders. But yeah, very very centralized at the moment.
So a lot of people that I was reading about and commenting was that the Bored Ape Yacht Club, the coin, actually they follow a playbook that TradFi really does a lot, which is only listing 15% of its issuance in free float. And a lot of people in the community said that maybe this had gave a lot of insiders exit liquidity, but maybe at the expense of the community. Do you feel that crypto is
yeah, go on. Sorry, I'm listening to you.
I mean, that kind of goes against the ethos of crypto, or what do you feel? I mean, and that's the same point that comes in, that you have all these venture capitalists like Horowitz and Monica Labs involved in this, when it turns into more than not just a community play, but it's a money grab in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, the argument, like, I understand the argument, and I really also understand the sentiment, but like, when has crypto not been used to like, farm exit liquidity from people who are following you just to dump on their heads, right? Like it's a big game, right? And again, I don't advocate for, that kind of stuff, but you got to understand, whenever you're buying or selling any crypto asset, or even any asset in general, whether it be in TradFi or in Web3 and crypto, you got to know your risks, know your counterparty risks, know what could be systemic risk to the project that you're investing into. You got to know what you're doing. But like, again, it's called Ape Coin, so there's a part of you that's going to ape into it. I mean, but at the same time, like, you got to understand what their incentives are. And for example, the Yuga Lab founders, they have exposure to Ape Coin, and I'm sure that if they want to make a ton of money, they want to see Ape Coin go up in price, and the way that it's going to go up in price is by delivering on their roadmap, on their promises, which they have done extremely well so far. So I'm not one to bet against them, because at the end of the day, why go through all the trouble to create this token just to get some exit liquidity when you've already made hundreds of millions of dollars in royalty sales through your NFTs, and then therefore tarnish your brand, as opposed to building a really good and continuing to build an incredible Web3 business and brand, that they've kind of become synonymous with the NFT space, and continue to deliver on the value that they've already delivered to holders of their NFTs, and I can imagine now holders of their token. Full disclosure, I've only got a small bit of exposure to Ape Coin, so I'm not trying to shill or pump my bags here, but honestly, it is something that for any investor or trader, it's going to be good to trade. A lot of volatility, and there's perpetual swaps available in a number of different exchanges. So if you want to take an opposing bet, then you can get bearish and get short and make money as the price goes down, or you can just have a risk or slightly reduced risk approach and just buy spot if you're bullish. So there's ways to go about expressing both views.
There's almost a massive opportunity cost in not taking a little bit of exposure and saying, you know what, let's just ape into it, buy a little bit just to see where it's going to go. Because obviously, if they do deliver on their promises and build this awesome Web3 experience that they're hoping to, then I'm sure that they'll carry on being the most valuable kind of asset in the space in the long term, and that'll obviously bring appreciation to the token as well.
100%, my man. And I think also one last thing I think I'd like to mention, unless you got other questions, is that very very few times do we get to see things that are crypto native that get to encapsulate the mainstream media as much as the Base C has. So and it's permeated into so many areas of culture, music, sports, so many things that are actually and so many big names are getting involved. It's kind of like, it's nice to see, you know, when I kind of got involved in crypto, it was almost like the frowned upon part of finance, but now it's like extremely mainstream, not just Bitcoin and ETH, but now, you know, very niche products is big part of culture. So you don't want to bet against, you know, momentum until it changes, you know, and then the new big player comes on. But until then, I'd just like to, you know, stay under the wings of those who are doing awesome things.
For sure, man. Well, thank you very much for your time, Bashir. And Ape Coin, let's see where it goes. And I'm sure we'll have an update in a couple of weeks, seeing what's happened and whether the plans have come to fruition. Take it easy, man. Thank you as always.
My man, thanks for having me.